I'm keeping it.
What's up, Jordan Downs? Y'all already know the deal, man. Y'all tuned in to Grape Street TV. And today we're gonna jump into story time. We ain't gonna waste too much time. We gonna hop in it. This is the story I was telling y'all about. I went to jail and ended up running into my Mexican homie that nobody could verify on the streets. So he was in hot water when I hit the yard. And that's facts. So if you ain't hit that like or that subscribe button yet, that's what you need to be doing. But if not, y'all already know the deal with me, man. I'm gonna bust y'all across y'all head with some knowledge every time, man, straight up. And make sure y'all hit that bell for all notifications. So when I drop these reactions right here, they pop up on your timeline like the chicken pops. Boop, 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 boop. Y'all already know the deal with me, man. Listen, tap in. Now that I got y'all attention, we finna break this story time down to the very last compound. So, it's normal stuff. People go to prison. It's like a Mexican might go to prison. He could be a blood crip or a Hoover. A black could go to prison. He could be a South Sider, Norteño from the other side of the culture. A lot of people get on here and put extras on it and make it seem like it's a little bit more harder being a different race. But as long as you accept it on the other side, then it's nothing. It all depends on how you respond to the situation. Here's a normal situation. Normal guy telling a similar situation. Tap in.
No, man, that's the first time the SA pushed up. Hey, you Rasa? Nah, hell no, I ain't Rasa. I'm from Paul Rook. You know what I mean? Motherfuckers looking like them, So, few homies seeing the motherfucker. What's up, dog? You good? Yeah, good, homie. You know what I'm saying? What happened? Whoa. Boom, tally up the homies.
See, like I said, normal situations, like these are normal situations that kick off on yards. People from different cultures, and the culture is gonna be the culture. When I hit the yard, they like, you got a homie in this building, you got a homie in your building. I guess the homies want to figure out what was going on with him on the yard. That was the young dudes like pressing the line. So I finally get out and hit yard, and they approaching me, talking to me. You know what I mean? I'm introducing myself. I actually knew a few cats and did time with them that was on the yard. They start saying, "Yeah, I know you a real one, man. Is he a green grape or who is he like?" So they like, his name is Cino. So I only knew one Cino, which is an older Cino. He's black. So when they said he was Mexican, they was like, I guess he Lil Cino. I never met a Lil Cino, so like I don't know him. So now it's making it look more bad for him. Because now it's like, damn, now one of your homies hit the yard, a little bit older than you, and he don't even know who you is. I venture back in, yard over. I guess they go back in the building and press him, and he get hostile, like he came from our environment. So he ready to fade and all that. So they made up some type of way where they had to give him they was gonna give him a DP. So when we hit yard, they start telling me about the situation. And while they tell me about the situation, I see the homie walking up. I'm like, damn, look familiar, that's the homie. And then he got real close. I couldn't recognize him because he grew his hair real long. So he looked kind of like a mixed dude. So when he got up all the way up on me, I'm like, man, this motherfucking Frankie. I knew him. Good little dude, you know what I mean? I guess he got put on while I was incarcerated and right before he had came to jail. So when they was calling to verify him on the streets, it was older dudes didn't know who he was, especially pushing that name that he was pushing. So they looking at us like, and I'm explaining to him like, yeah, this the homie. He from the set. Now they trying to push the DP issue. They trying to push a DP like saying, yeah, he got all loud in day room and whoop whoop. And so I was like, what you mean a DP for what? For getting loud in day room? He like, no, he was talking reckless. I'm like, if it was talking reckless and it got that far, maybe you should have got off or you should have lined up a fade with the homie. Like, you trying to push an issue for him to get DP. I hit him with well, if somebody got a problem with the homie, then I get down. I'm not gonna let him get down. He's smaller, and then y'all trying to bully the homie. That's just how we are. Stand back to back when we in that thing. And that's facts. They start going around the situation, like trying to take it a different route. I guess he wanted to get down and squabble with the homie. That's basically what it was. He didn't like him, and he didn't like how the homie got at him after they approached him on the situation. When they went back into the building and came out for day room, we end up nipping that in the butt, kicking that to the side. That nobody want to do nothing. We left it at that. Like, so I end up trying to get him pulled into my cell. A few more good homies that had a little juice on the yard, so I end up getting getting him moved from another building into my cell and booted my cellie, out of the cell. So he in there, I'm talking to him, I'm lacing him, and I'm giving him that good advice to let him know we ain't gonna let nobody play, man. If you feel like you pressured, just get off. If you get off, I'm gonna follow suit. That's just the way it is. So we start programming. The homies start coming to yard. I became like just working out, and a lot of people working out with me. So he was one of them, and we been in laps one day, and we get to talking. The other dude is like, he's telling people like he following me, like he my puppet, like I basically got him doing something. So now I feel some type of way. So I want to go press the issue. So I talk to the homie. You got to talk to people. You can't just address situations when you're on the yard and take things into your own matter without letting people know what's going on. Because anything can happen and they can get ugly. You got to alert people. Telling the homie, he like, well, I'm gonna go over there and talk to him. You know what? That's my boy. And so the homie ended up talking to him. It's cool. They dead at the situation. Some type of way, the situation, ended up to where it was nothing. Once again, we programming. And I don't know what got into the homie, but one day I came back from yard, and this is facts. He's already, Mexican, full-blooded Mexican. He shaves his head bald. When it was time to step out for child, like, you step out, I'm talking about everybody, the whole tier. Like, they looking like, what is he doing in there? So we get to walking down and headed down the stairs and stuff. And we walking, he chopping it up with me, and how the lines just blend in and we blending out. A south sider hit him with the, hey, what's up? You a homie? The homie snapped, I guess, from going through all the stuff on the yard. He flashed, you got me fucked up and woo. I'm a Great Street Crip, and it just like got loud. So we calmed it, kept going, went to child, and we made it back. So when we hit night yard, they had something going to where, yeah, he's gonna get DP. Basically, like that's what they were saying. I felt it was like they made a pick to say we gonna pick these 3 dudes to give him a DP. But guess what? You got homies on the yard, and you got homies in your age range, and you got your own homies gonna figure out what we gonna do with our homie. Even though we got a car that's together, Compton and Watts, it's different games within the car. So I pressed the line. Nah, the homie ain't finna get no DP. Not for that. Like, that's just how I'm feeling. I'm feeling like they picking on him because they been wanting to fight him. So they trying to find a reason. And now that he flashed and try to give certain people a reason, even though he was out of line, but this was his first prison bid and he didn't understand. He was under all that pressure. I was willing to crash out with the homie. So he like get to talking and saying, we don't DP him. They gonna make it seem like we ain't did nothing or we ain't did. Well, we just all gonna have to go up and we gonna deal with the consequences because I'm not gonna throw the homie under the bus. And then I'm not gonna let people tell us how we gonna discipline our own folks. You're not gonna put hands on my folks. Homie tell me like, I'll take my DP, like, yeah, but we ain't even gonna go that route. So I talked to him, was like, I'll discipline my own homie. Since there wasn't nobody else on the yard from the hood at his age range, it was people from different sets. And I just wasn't to let them put their hands on my homie because at the end of the day, you got to go home to all this. You supposed to be like this with your homies. Because when y'all hit the streets, whatever you did in there, it's going to touch the streets. And that's facts. Make a long story short, we end up getting back to the cell. Like, so I tell him, hit them burpees. You owe me 300 burpees. So he get to doing the burpees. And while he doing the burpees, I'm talking to him and he's like, still got that attitude, man, fuck these motherfuckers, and still feel like he didn't do anything wrong. That's how I start looking at the situation. Like, so as he's doing the burpees, I already put it in my mind, like I'm a DP. I'm gonna give him a DP. We gonna squabble up or he gonna get socked up. Because at the end of the day, we could have crashed. We could have went up. But I understood how he felt because he was under so much pressure at the time. People fuck up sometimes. So after he was done with the burpees and drinking his water, I said, you don't even need no rest. We finna get down. I'm finna give you a DP. So he kind of looking at me like in a sad way, He was younger than me, so he for sure knew I was gonna get on him based off the structure, in our section. Like, we big on discipline. and keeping our homies on the right track. You know, he throw his little shit up. I sock him up. He was just he just did 300 burpees, mind you that. I'm beating his body up, beating him up. I didn't want to beat his face up, so I beat his body up. I beat him, beat his body. Boom, bam, boom, bam, 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 bam. After that, guess what? Spread it up, drinking on coffee. Cause you know in jail, coffee is like having a bottle in there. We off the coffee. I'm lacing him. Like I shouldn't have to be in here putting my hands on you, or people shouldn't have to be in here wanting to put their hands on you. You got to think about your actions. You can't just think out of rage. You got to be a man, and a man is gonna go through a lot of situations and be put up under a lot of pressure. So, long story short, I signed a cell with him to my release date, which we spent probably like, want to say maybe like a year or a little over a year in the cell together. And I kind of was structuring and molding him to have his shit right. Because when I was gonna get released, I think he had like another 6 months to go home. So on my release date, I left him with knowledge, survival tactics, everything I had, everything else, TV, whatever, it was just left to him. But the moral of the story and the reality check out of it is that these are normal situations that people get on the internet and talk about, being Mexican Crips, Bloods, and Hoovers, and Black Southsiders. This is like normal in the culture. And the reality check is like nobody deserves to go to jail. But if you're out here moving wrong and moving reckless, you for sure gonna crash. And when you crash out, you gonna do your time. And if you crash out with people in the car with you, keep your mouth shut. Don't do the crime if you can't do the time. And that's facts. I don't even like telling prison stories, but I tell certain stories that come with a reality check and could bring some knowledge to a person's head. Like if you do find yourself incarcerated in prison, move how you move, mind your business, stay out of everybody else's. Do your time and go home to your folks. Suck up all the game from all the OGs and take up all them classes. Take advantage of the opportunities that they have in there. And that's facts. So with all that being said, this story time has officially came to an end, man. If you don't hit that like or that subscribe button yet, that's what you need to be doing. But if not, y'all already know the deal with me, man. I'm gonna bust y'all across y'all head with some knowledge every time, man, straight up. And make sure y'all hit that bell for all notifications. So when I drop these reactions right here, they pop up on your timeline like the chicken pox. Boop, 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 boop. Y'all already know the deal with me, man. Listen, tap in.
This is an OG call. I'm keeping it.